On the Facebook forum, Pacific Northwest Peak Baggers, Eric Richtmeyer recently described an incident on Mount Jefferson in Oregon, and he put up this photo of part of a rappel anchor that was coming apart during a rappel. So these are the cords in the anchor. The person is rappelling and there is a little bit of movement back and forth. Eric is purportedly clipped to the anchor. There's a little bit of movement back and forth in these cords that are a piece of the anchor. The second cord theoretically would hold the fall if that first cord breaks. Another thing to consider is that this cord is nylon and there is expansion and contraction that takes place. And so when you have a sharp edge, it's not just horizontal movement over the sharp edge, but it's this vertical contraction and stretch that can also damage either a rope or a cord in the anchor. This is tricky because Eric came to this anchor and it was already there. And sometimes when we come to these anchors in the mountains, we just assume they're good because, well, other people have done it. So this is a heuristic trap. We talk about heuristic traps a lot. Somebody else did it, so it's probably fine. That's a normal process that we go through. However, that's just one piece of the puzzle. We always need to look at anchors very carefully, even if somebody else has used them, and think about how we can mitigate any potential issues that might come up. So if we can't find another option here, is there a way to pad this edge? Is there a way to move these cords in a place where they're not going to run over the edge? Can we watch the cords and coach the person that's rappelling? These would be the beginning ways that I might think about this. How good is that red cord? Is it good enough if the green cord goes? Now, when Eric came to this, they were both fine. Watching it, talking to the person is always valuable. Seeing if you can pad it or move things, that's valuable. There's some other things you could do too. Is it possible to add something? And ideally that something has less stretch. So here I went back into our shop and I just threaded a sling through this hanger, and we have redundancy here. There's already redundancy in the system, but such a short sling tied the way it's tied decreases the likelihood of that expansion and contraction that was cutting potentially part of it. So if we can add a little bit more, I'm not a big fan of like adding tons and tons of tack to things, but in this particular case, adding a little bit more might have been helpful. And of course, if we can find a different anchor, just period, as opposed to using the one that's spooky, we should. But, you know, sometimes you get on something and things start to fall apart, like in this case. Ultimately, Eric did the right thing. The guy who was rappelling got off the rope. He'd only been rappelling a little bit and was able to get away from the system. Anyway, we want to keep really close attention, especially if you're the one up at the anchor. Pay attention to what's going on, particularly with these weird tatty mountain anchors.